How's it going, guys? It's Friday, January 19th. That definitely wasn't my 6th take. And I've got you this week's freshwater video. Let's get right into it. We're going to ignore the part where it took me like 6 tries to do the intro and just get right into the cool fish. And starting us out this week, we have these beautiful Flameback Bleeding Heart Tetras. Bleeding Heart Tetras in and of themselves are already very beautiful, but you get the addition of that nice orange backing on the males and that really, really dark dorsal fin. All around makes for a beautiful Tetra species. Hanging out with them in here, speaking of another beautiful active schooling fish, the wonderful gold barbs. These are specifically the neon gold barbs. Really cool fish, absolutely love them. Great beginner fish too. They're friendly, peaceful, awesome. They love to school, easy to care for. All around great fish. And speaking of some really awesome schooling tetras, we have a whole lot of Rumynose in right now. Rumynose are definitely one of those fish that are just pretty no matter where you put them, but they also really bring a planted tank to life. Absolutely love them. Those flag tails of theirs just get folded with age and their whole heads will turn like cherry red. And they're very good schoolers. Great tetras all around. And speaking of some fun tetras, we have fully stocked back up on our glowfish here. Lots and lots of beautiful colored tetra varieties. And these guys are just as hardy and just as fun and easy to care for as their normal skirt tetra relatives. And sometimes, honestly, it's crazy as it sounds to some people, I like a nice big planted tank full of these. It's kind of like a bag of Skittles swimming around. It's really nice looking. Very pretty. Absolutely love it. Up next on this week's list, we have these amazing little Bivan Rams. These guys are very closely related to their German blue ram cousins, so they do get a little bigger. They also tend to have longer and flashier fins, which is really nice, and a bit more reds in them as opposed to the blues of the German blue rams. All around, very beautiful, small, peaceful cichlids. Really fun to keep in community systems. And alongside them, we have a whole lot of these beautiful royal blue Grammies. Which now that you can see some of them in the light, you can really get that beautiful shiny iridescence about them. Again, another really cool dwarf species that's great for keeping in community tanks or planted tanks or anything of the like. It's a great way to add like a slightly bigger fish and a pop of color to any smaller tanks. Really cool Grammies here, starting out. Beautiful pearl Grammies. These guys are especially pretty Gourami that I really like. And coming up into the gorgeous gold Gouramis. And of course you cannot forget the wonderful opaline blue Gouramis. Absolutely beautiful fish. All three of them species are just iridescent, pretty, captivating, very charismatic too. Gouramis are they're very like active fish. They recognize their owners. And they'll happily interact with you, eat out of your hands. Just all around really fun fish. And hanging out in here with our beautiful electric blue balloon rams, which I gotta say that 5 times fast, are these absolutely gorgeous black layer tail mollies. Very, very pretty. Lots of shades of yellows, golds, and blacks. Love those big, beautiful, flowing tail fins, males and females together. Lots and lots of nice stuff. And of course, hanging out with them, the wonderful little scarlet batis and the beautiful little dwarf petricola catfish. I tell you, it's been too long since I've been able to feature these guys, which is a tragedy because I absolutely adore Mexican dwarf orange crayfish. These are pretty much adults. That guy coming around the back there now, that's pretty much full size. They don't particularly get too much bigger than that. And as you can see, all the little guppies passing through. These guys are not very big. They're an awesome dwarf crayfish species that are relatively peaceful too. not too damaging to plants, great scavengers for most fish tanks, and just a really fun little critter to have around. Especially because I know so many of us love crayfish, but don't understand how destructive the big ones can be. All around, absolutely amazing. Super happy anytime I get to feature these. Another thing I'm always happy to feature are just really weird fish. And they don't get too much weirder than Amazonian leaffish. These guys have this really cool, thin blade-like body that helps them perfectly disguise themselves as a leaf, and they can actually even change colors to a degree to help them camouflage as a leaf better. And just something about them. I love a lot of different types of fish that camouflage as other things. I just think it's a really cool little mimicry that they do. And I've always tossed around the idea of having a tank that's filled with nothing but species that disguise themselves as sticks and leaves. And these guys would definitely be near the top of my list for that. I love the Amazonian leaffish. As we round down to our last few fish of the week, I wanted to feature yet another wonderful gourami, another dwarf this time, in the beautiful dwarf honey golden gourami, or golden honey gourami, however pleased to say that in whichever order. These guys are another really awesome, super passive species that tend not to bother almost anything. And they stay relatively small, and they are very, very brightly colored. That gorgeous gold with the honey oranges all around. And hanging out with them are these big, beautiful whitefin tetras. Another beautiful tetra species closely related to those bleeding hearts that we saw earlier, and you can kind of see some of their semblance there. Both the males and the females have really nice color on these guys. All around, very awesome fish. Since I feel like there wasn't enough oddballs in this week's video, let's say we wrap up with a small handful of some oddballs to send us out for the week. Starting with the ever-lovable silver arowana. Can never get enough of these guys. Just such an awesome, weird, and wonderful little fish. Love these guys so much. A lot about them that there's just to love. Really, really cool. And hanging out with them here, probably amongst one of the weirdest catfish there is the Lima shovel-nosed catfish, which looks incredibly goofy from the front. Not much less goofy from the side, though. No matter what, though, I still love them. And of course, hanging out with them in here, the beautiful pink-tailed Chalcaeus? I'm not 100% sure. I've always said Chalcaeus. Another really, really awesome fish. They kind of remind me of like little pike or barracuda without all the exorbitant fierceness of them. Really cool fish. And to wrap the week up with one final oddball that definitely hasn't been around quite a few times and definitely hasn't been stated as my favorite freshwater fish many a time, we have the freshwater clouded archerfish. These guys, once again, are amongst the smallest, if not the smallest, archerfish species, making them much more manageable and easy to keep than many other archerfish. And speaking of being much more manageable than other archerfish, they are also the only species that thrives in pure freshwater environments, never needing to convert over to brackish marine environments. And these guys take really well to captivity. These guys are already eating little pellets and stuff for me. So really, really awesome to see. Absolutely love these guys. If you give them the right setup, they will also exhibit that spitting behavior, which is really fun. Let's give them their name, Archerfish. All around, there's a whole host of great reasons why these guys are probably my favorite fish in all of freshwater. Absolutely love them. Alrighty guys, that's going to do for this week's video. Hanging out with the discus here. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and any of our newer local customers looking pretty cool or interesting, like the beautiful koi angel or assorted discus, feel free to email us at contact@exoticaquatic.com. Love to see them get in for you. Until next time.